All right, so this is our very first audio interview for the Go Girl Leadership Project. I'm Patty Minglin, founder of Go Girl Communications and the Go Girl Leadership Project, and I couldn't be happier to have as the guinea pig for our very first audio interview, Amanda Kunzer. Welcome, Amanda.
Hi, hello.
Wow, super enthusiastic on this snowy morning.
I definitely am. And it's Halloween.
And
It's a free candy day.
It it is. And it is like, I'm looking out my window. It is really snowing right now. Like
Yep.
Christmas snow. So
It is.
all those little mermaids that need to go out in their costumes and their winter coat over it. That's going to be super cute tonight.
I know.
So Amanda, just tell us just a little bit about yourself and what you do.
So I am the community relations manager for Edgewood. So basically what I do is I go out, I talk to communities, schools, practices, businesses about the services we offer at Edgewood, but also really talking about mental health, its importance, getting treatment if needed, really talking about how we need to destigmatize the mental health culture we have, right? There's still such a stigma with it. So I'm really passionate about that when I go out and I'm talking about mental health in general.
Yeah. And I think, at least I feel like we're getting better as a society talking about mental health and understanding that it's just like going to when you go to the doctor to talk about your physical ailments, it's okay to also go to a doctor and talk about your emotional ailments.
Right. Because it's common. We all have physical and mental, health illnesses from time to time. And there's no shame in getting that, getting a tune-up, getting some help.
That's right. Somebody once explained that to me as it's like when you take your car in for regular oil changes. Yep. That you go on a regular basis, just even if it's like quarterly, you go to marriage counseling quarterly or whatever it is. It's just keeping that maintenance.
Yep.
Because you don't want to wait till the light goes on, your engine light goes on in your car, because then you got to get a whole new car. So you don't want to do that. You want to be on the front end of that, I guess.
Right. And let's be honest, life will throw us curveballs all the time.
Right.
And so many times, we're just not prepared. Right. And even if you are prepared, you still are kind of sideswiped by something, and you need the support, whether it be very short term or just, a little bit longer term to get you back on the path where you're able to feel better and think clear.
That's true. That's so true. And you're also a mom.
I am a mom. Yes. I have a wonderful 14-year-old boy who I always say is super sweet and does not smell like a foot yet. So
wow, that's actually a great accomplishment.
It really is. It is, because again, he's 14. He's a freshman, and he could very easily smell like a foot any day, but today he's still not smelling like a foot.
Celebrate every day.
Hey man, you just have to look for those things that are like, you know what? It's going to be a good day. No foot smell.
Keep your bar low. That's the key of parenting right there.
Yes, it is. Let's be realistic. Keep the bar low. Yeah. And laugh when you can. That's right. Find the humor and stuff.
So as one of our featured leaders, we were obviously talking about leadership here. So what is one of the biggest lessons that you have learned when it comes to leadership?
You never, ever, ever stop learning. And you learn from people around you, and situations that happen are great starting points to learn further. So I know that people in society were so worried about messing up and screwing up and doing the wrong thing. And, oh my God, what are we going to do? You know what? That's really a learning. It's a learning process, and you kind of have to have those so you can build on that.
Right.
It's not going to destroy you. It feels like it, right? At the time, you're like, oh my God, it's over. But you know what? Everyone has setbacks. Everyone. I haven't met anyone that, to date, that's like, yeah, I've never had a setback. My life is absolutely perfect. I feel bad for all the rest of you. I've never come across anyone like that. And if you talk to the people who are, the leaders, or they've, had, setbacks and traumas and crises, they've learned from that. And that's how they've been able to deal and become more resilient as they go forward. So.
Yes. And I think some of the, like, if you read interviews with, leaders that, famous leaders that we see, a lot of them say like their biggest leadership lesson came from a big fat mistake.
Yep.
Like, it was something they didn't just stumble upon it while they were doing all the success. It was something that they really did that didn't go well.
Exactly.
And that kind of changed the trajectory of where they went from there.
Exactly. And they were able to kind of say, okay, this was terrible. Let's not even sugarcoat it. This was terrible. How can I learn from this and do better? It's the people that don't look to figure out why it happened and won't accept the responsibility for it that really struggle going forward.
That's a really good point. It's like there's the Maya Angelou, the poem where she ends it, "When I knew better, I did better."
Yep.
And being able to look back and learn from that mistake is really key, and not take any of the lessons from it. That's a great.
Yep.
So speaking of lessons, like, what is one of the biggest or best pieces of business advice that you've ever been given in your long career?
Wow. I like how you said long career. Well, that kind of indicates that I'm older. So thanks for that.
I mean, it's amazing at 25 what you've been able to accomplish.
No, right? It is really amazing. And I'm really 24. So I just want to clarify that.
Right. I was around.
I honestly think it's the lesson of the learning, and also to find the humor in things, because it's life is so hard. It's difficult. And I see it all the time, and especially being in mental health and the struggles that we all go through, that if you can find the humor in things, anything, or even just, like I said, my son doesn't smell like a foot. Some days that's all you got. You know what I mean? Or you know what? Like, hey, I got out of bed, I put on a bra, and I was somewhat productive today. Like, you need to kind of celebrate the small successes and know that what's going on is just temporary.
Yes.
You need to walk through it. It's going to be uncomfortable, but you need to walk through it. And I promise you, and I say this to anyone who actually wants to talk to me, that it will get better. I know it sounds cliche at times, but you just have to kind of get through it. And that's why mental health treatment is so important, because it makes it a little bit easier to walk through it.
Right. And I love that your business advice actually is to kind of go light with business. Like, so many times we think we have to be really serious when we talk business and when we're in it, but to be able to lighten up a little bit,
Yep.
it just makes the day, because it makes the day go better.
Right.
Because something's going to go wrong in your day. And I don't mean to be the downer on the conversation, but something's going to probably go wrong. And if you can just, not take it so serious. I always, because I do marketing things, somebody once told me it's PR, not ER. Like, we're not saving lives with your press release. If it doesn't go out right at 10 a.m., we're going to be just fine. Life is going to be okay.
Right.
So,
right.
Let's take a moment.
And so much of it is out of our control, right? Like, I know we always strive for control, and it's so much of it is out of our control. And you know what? We're humans. We do the best we can. And we're all in this planet together, right? We're just trying to eke by and get by. What you do have control is how you treat people, and taking care of people around you. That's a huge piece of it too.
Which is something you're very passionate about. And I
very
see
much so.
that, not just in what you're in, but I see that when I'm around you. You're very intentional about making sure that people around you feel included and cared for in whatever situation. And
thank you.
It's really nice. That's going to be the only nice thing I say about you during this.
Okay, right. Got it. Yep.
I marked it off early on my list.
Love that. Just check that right off. You are complete with that task.
Which in my next question means I cannot answer this because I wouldn't use 3 good words. But if your best friend were to describe you, what 3 words would he or she use?
Okay. So again, this is more family oriented, so I'm going to choose my words carefully. Um, as if people know me, you know what would come
Right.
right out of
I'm
it.
going to
Yeah.
publish this
So,
before 9 p.m. I don't want anything, to get me
yeah,
in.
that's right. Well, I would say I've been told I'm humorous. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, a little humorous. I am pretty sensitive. And I really, I try and show that as much as I can, because I feel like it's me putting myself out there and being vulnerable because I get it, and I want other people to feel okay with that and being vulnerable, and sometimes just putting it out there and being real. And the third one, man, probably I'm pretty direct. I'm pretty blunt, and that can sometimes it either like, oh, that's so great, it's so refreshing, or then other people are like, oh, okay, wow, yeah, that's wow. um but yeah, I would think those are my three.
Yeah.
um yeah, off the top
It's
of my head.
I really love that you said being sensitive and it's a positive to you, because I think so many times we think of words like being sensitive or being blunt is another one, that those are such negatives,
Right.
especially when it comes to women in leadership.
Mm-hmm.
And we
Mm-hmm.
tend to think that, oh, I don't want people to know I'm sensitive, when in fact, it's a really great leadership skill. It's a really great tool to be sensitive and aware of other people's feelings and emotions, as well as aware of your own. So
Right,
you can set
exactly. Yeah, I think yes, it's a natural, you're sensitive. However, um because you're sensitive too, I know in business sometimes you need to um, make sure you're handling um, your emotions appropriately as well. You
right.
know what I mean? Because sometimes, yeah, the sensitive trait can kind of turn on you a little bit, and so you want to make sure that you're responsible for how you respond and react in business as well. But no, overall, I do not think it's a bad thing. I think it's a normal thing, and um, it's to try and squash something like that. No, I don't. I would always encourage you to be sensitive. If that's who you are.
Right. I think that's so true. And it does open you up to being more vulnerable. And that always leads to something good when you can do
Yep.
that, for sure. All right, so we're going to stop being such a heavy talker on leadership and all this great business advice, and just talk about you a little
Oh,
bit in
okay.
your day to day. Because I just want to know, like, I'm so interested in what people do. Like, what is the first thing you do in the morning when you get up? What's the first thing you do to start your day?
So that would be coffee. I know that's not a earth-shattering comment. Usually, majority of people, I think, do that. Just gonna keep it real and say coffee. I don't go and work out. I don't, meditate. All these things. I probably, I probably should, but I start with coffee, and really,
And
that's
that's it?
that's that's kind of it. And I get ready for my day. I'm an early riser, so I'm up. Um,
So what time, when you say early riser, what does that mean? What time do you get up?
5:30.
Oh
5:30.
my goodness, you are an early riser.
Yep. Yep. That would be right after my son was, well, right when he was born. Let's just put it that way. Then that's when that started. So I'm up, and I'm thinking about my day and where I need to go and what I need to do. And I'm, pop in and out of meetings. Um, I go get to talk to people, which I love, right?
Mhm.
I'm a talker, and I feel like everyone's got a story and everyone's got um, different energies, and I like to be around people, and if we can, get you some help while I'm at it, I love that too. Because sometimes people are on the fence, or they're really struggling, and it takes just a kind word, or to say, you know what, I
Mhm.
get it, I've been there,
Right.
and they're like, oh, really? And then it really changes their whole day. And I love that. I feel good about that.
So how do you end your day? Like what's the last, because I know sometimes you're at a lot of events in the evening, so
Mhm.
your days last pretty long if you're getting up at 5:30. What do you do to kind of calm down from your day?
So I always am checking in with my son. That's my first thing when I get home, whether we're having dinner together, or I'm making him talk to me, because he's at that phase where, school is okay. Do you have homework? No. You know, anything interesting happened today? No. So really just asking a lot of questions and trying to kind of engage him a little bit. And I love TV. I am a huge, huge horror movie fanatic. I love
Ah,
every scary movie under the face of the earth. And
really?
so
Oh,
I'm a
you do because
junkie.
you love haunted houses.
Oh yeah, total junkie. Anything horror, I'm all on. So
So
um
today's like your favorite
this
day of
is
the
my
year.
day. Yeah. I heard angels singing when I got up. Doves have flown by my window. Like, I'm like, this is it, man. This is it. This is the best day of the year, because every movie's on TV, right?
Yes.
My DVR is like smoking. So you can find me after I have bombarded my kid with questions, or I'm just kind of hanging out with them on the TV, laying not on the TV, laying by the TV and watching TV. I kind of zone out. So that is kind of like, you know, I guess a coping skill I have is just kind of watching TV, Netflix, horror movies, whatever. Yeah.
I love it. I mean, that's after, again, your day's really long.
You know what though? It doesn't feel long because I like what I do. And
Uh,
I like the people I come in contact with,
mhm.
and it makes my day go by fast, and it feels rich. It doesn't
Mm,
feel like it's a chore. I'm not like, oh, I have to go to another chamber event. I have to go to a Naperville
mhm.
Moms Network meet. Like, I like them, and I like the people there, and I like to surround myself with other moms and other women at the chamber. I really like it. So it does go by fast. So
Well,
yeah,
that just, I mean, that it sounds very cliche, but do what you love
yes,
and you won't work a day in your life, kind of.
exactly.
But it's true. And I try to tell that to my older kids all the time. It really does, that is really the key, to find something that makes it feel like I would do this even if I wasn't getting paid to do it,
Right. Yes.
because
Yeah,
it's just so
100%.
much a part of who I am. I love that. So when you, and I know because you're just so full of inspiration for others, you probably don't have moments like this, but when you need some inspiration, what is something like, what is your no fail go to when I need inspiration? Is it a song? Is it a book? What is it?
That's a good question. I would say I'm a big music fan. I love music.
Mm,
I also, if I need inspiration, I this is going to sound, I know, kind of whatever, but I really like volunteering. And
oh,
I think for me, it really puts things in perspective when you're giving back directly to somebody, whether it be the pad sites or any of the Feed My Starving Children. You are
mhm.
literally seeing the fruits of your efforts go back to the community, or to another country that needs assistance. That inspires me, and it puts things in a different perspective for me.
That's
So
great.
I know if my batteries are running low and I'm like, I don't know, what am I, like,
Mhm.
for some reason that just kind of re-energizes me. So I'm a big fan of that. And my son um, goes with me on a lot of that stuff. He grew up volunteering a lot with me. So he's not like, oh man, he likes it too, because we've been doing it for so long now. So yeah, that is something that kind of recharges me as well.
I love that. And I think sometimes we don't think about that. Like we think that, our inspiration needs to come from a song or a quote or something, but it's really, kind of being out there and being with others and giving back Just,
and it changes your perspective
yes.
dramatically, because here I am, like we would stuff backpacks, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
So these backpacks with these school supplies, like no one's really like, you think, oh, it's something I got to do. I gotta get my son this and that. But literally you are like helping these students who do not have
Right.
school supplies. And it really puts things in perspective. Like, wow, you know what? We are really fortunate.
Right. And it's so great that your son now has that instilled in him as well. Like he's probably going to always find that volunteerism is a way that he fills his own cup and he's
Yeah.
inspired. And
Yeah.
wow. So you
That's my hope. That's my hope.
check that off your parenting list. Good parenting right there.
Woohoo! Yeah, that's the last time anyone's going to say that. That's like the only statement I'll say about my parenting.
Well, that's a good one though. Like if you're going to check something off the parenting list, that's a good one for sure.
Yeah.
Right. So our final question. This can be super hard.
Oh, geez.
Name a woman, past or present, whom you admire and look up to.
Okay, so around me, like in Naperville, there's a ton.
Mm-hmm.
That would be hard for me to say one specific person. Like all the ladies that are going to be highlighted on your website,
Right.
all of them are outstanding. Like I admire all of them, all different reasons. Like I just, so it's hard to name just one.
Mm-hmm.
If I go the famous route, I got to tell you, Ellen DeGeneres, she is one of the most funny, brave, savvy women. Like I find her very kind. That's like my main thing with her is she's a very kind person. She is extremely funny and she doesn't tear down people. She's not a mean, spiteful comedian. She pokes fun at herself or maybe certain situations, but she doesn't tear down others.
Yeah.
And she is so brave, which is a huge, I think coming out is extremely scary. And
Mm-hmm.
she did it. She was like one of the first people who came out of the closet. I mean, I can't imagine how scary that was. And she did it. And she made a comeback. Like she was, she kind of retreated a little bit, but she came back out. And I don't know. I think she's incredibly brave for that. And she's a huge animal lover, which, I love. I love that. And she does a lot of good humanitarian work and her shows are full of, inspiration and kindness. And she encourages that kindness. So,
Yes.
I mean, all in all, like Ellen DeGeneres, that is someone that I very much admire, hands down.
A great one. And I think for all the reasons you just said, and I think that bravery, that courage is that living into who your true self is, even though she knew at that time that it could be career killing.
I know, right? Like
anyway, like to just feel like she needed to be so true to who she was as a person.
Totally. Yep.
Oh, that's so great. And she is kind. I feel like she's one of those people I would be friends with if I met her.
Hands down. We
And when I
totally would.
say that, I mean, I
Yes.
think she would want to be friends with me.
Oh, of course, Patty. I mean, that's not even a question.
But I just feel like she is the kind of person that you would want to be around. Like you would.
I tell you, she uses her power that she has and her social media following for something really good and inspiring others instead of just taking selfies of like my face and my butt, and I don't.
Right.
Some of those people are, but you know what I mean? There's none of that. It's, I'm going to, I have your attention and here's what I'm going to spotlight on how we can be kind to each other and what we can do with money if we have money. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I just absolutely, I think she's yeah. Big time.
Well, and then for you, she embodies a lot of what you talked about earlier, finding humor and, lightening up. And she also likes to scare people. You should probably check in.
God, I saw that.
Today may be the day. She does this really great thing with the haunted house where she sends one of her producers through it.
Oh, yeah.
Like the highlight of my Halloween is to watch.
Tell you something. If I ever get a talk show, which, I mean, just dreaming here, spitballing. Let's just say if I ever got a talk show, that would be part of it. Like we would scare, people who come on to talk, in my studio with like, fake pleather walls or whatever. Like and we would I just think that would be a hoot. But yeah, I'm telling you, she's just, So hands down, she's my girl. Yep.
That is fantastic. And when she hears this, she'll probably reach out to you
Oh, I hope
because
she
I'm
does.
sure she's a follower of our
You know
leadership
what?
project.
She should be. Yes. I
Right.
just joined Instagram not too long ago.
You did,
So
which
I
is
have
very
about, I
good.
think, 50 followers now. So,
You're going to have a
uh,
lot more now.
well, let's hope. Let's hope.
When Ellen tags you in her post, watch out. This is
Oh,
exciting.
yes. That would be great.
Well, Amanda, thank you so much for spending your Halloween with us. I know you've got lots of scaring to do.
Oh,
It's,
so
it's
little
okay.
time to get all those done.
I know. And, with the snow, that's going to make it a little more difficult. So we appreciate you taking the time to hang out with us. And if for all of you listening, I do have more about Amanda on the blog. So be sure to check that out, as well as she has a walk up song, the song that inspires her and motivates her. You need to check out what song that is as well. And have a great rest of your day.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for